Hey, how's it going? So I'm trying something a little different with the filming this time, seeing how I like this, if it works. The one thing when I was doing the test, I noticed every time I turn the blinker on, the clicking sound gets louder. So I don't know how well this is going to work, if it's going to be a permanent thing or not. So yeah, but we're going to give it a shot. Just see what happens. You know. Okay. So, ooh, car coming up. So this is one of those movies that is very hard to talk about because there's just not a lot to talk about. I've said this before, I'll say it again. It delivers on its promise. It is in fact a motion picture. There are, pictures, and they do in fact move. So, you can't say that it did not deliver on its promise. Beyond that, it is what it is. It's a Fast and the Furious ripoff. I'm sorry. Obviously, those films are popular. They've made, what are they on now? 7, 8? I don't know. So obviously there's an audience, but when your starting point is a ripoff of, Fast and the Furious, you're not starting from you're not starting from the best plateau there. It's, you're not ripping off a Mona Lisa. It's not like you're ripping off Die Hard. You're ripping off Fast and the Furious, the film equivalent of dogs playing poker. And I like dogs playing poker, but, but you can tell it's exactly what this movie is trying to be. It's trying to cash in on that Fast and the Furious type of film, just by every stretch of it. Even right down to the mock deep language thrown around. This film throws the word love around the way the Fast and the Furious movies throw the word family around, as if, saying this word over and over and over gives some kind of weight and meaning to the proceedings, which it doesn't. So anyway, let's talk about the plot as it were. So, again, I don't know any of these actors' real names, or the main two, but I know the other movies they were in. The guy who played Young Beast in the last 3 X-Men movies falls in love with the chick from Star Wars Rogue One. So I'm just going to call them Young Beast and Rogue One. All right. So Young Beast falls in love with Rogue One, and Young Beast is like a drug dealer working for Ben Kingsley, who we're going to get to in a second. And he sees Rogue One across a crowded room and falls instantly in love with her and quits the drug game, and they live a fairy tale existence of that, young 20s kind of thing that you consider romantic, living in a shit apartment and drinking beer and, having sex, which I guess actually isn't a bad life. Anyway, just because I don't get to do it doesn't mean it isn't good. Anyway, but lo and behold, Rogue One, it turns out she's got a kidney problem and she needs a kidney transplant. And lo, they, being but poor young people, with love being their only true currency, they can't pay for it. So Young Beast decides to go back into his life of crime to steal a truckload of drugs from drug lord Anthony Hopkins. Of course, the whole thing goes belly up, and Young Beast, through sheer stupidity, ends up stealing several $1 million from Anthony Hopkins. And the whole thing is like this extended car chase, basically, or the latter half of it. As Anthony Hopkins chases Young Beast to get the money back, and Young Beast is desperate to get back to Rogue One because he's afraid they're going to get to her to make him give the money back. It's this whole thing. So let's talk about before I rip something apart, let's talk about some of the good things that happen in this movie. And the good thing, the main good thing is Anthony Hopkins. Anthony Hopkins rocks, and Anthony Hopkins is frickin' Anthony Hopkins, you know. And I swear to God, I mean, the guy may be the sweetest, most loveliest man on the face of the earth, but when he talks, he sounds like the devil. I mean, you always hear that thing of this person could read the phone book. You know, this dude could read the phone book and make you piss your pants with fear, you know, just for the sheer evilness of how he reads that phone book. And, I mean, he's great in this. He is acting, I mean, and you can tell, I mean, you can tell he's giving it, this is him at, like, a 3. He's not even turning it all the way up like he does in, like, Thor or something like that. No, he knows what kind of movie. He's like, all right, I'm a Brit, I'm an actor, Brits are the best actors on the planet. I'm gonna give this my attention, but this is, I mean, I don't know how that. I can only assume that the way they got Anthony Hopkins into this movie is much the same way Young Beast, you know, is doing all things. So they must have kidnapped somebody Anthony Hopkins loves. I mean, they've got to be holding his turtle hostage or something to make him do this movie. Or I get either that, or they filmed him, you know, him thinking he's in a different film, and then they're just, you know, splicing him into this one, kind of like they did with Raymond Burr and Godzilla, you know? So he's good. I can't say the movie is completely terrible, because there's some good parts. I hope the ticking's not too loud. I'm going to turn that off for a second. I'm in a turn lane. They know I'm going to turn. I can't say the action is completely terrible. There are some pretty good car chases and some pretty spectacular car crashes. You know, it's kind of like one of these movies you go to almost in the same way people go to a NASCAR, is that you're almost hoping the cars crash. And there's some pretty, you know, horrific car crashes in this that I legitimately went, oh, a couple times. It's just kind of the sheer crashiness of it. But that being said, here's the problem. Here's the problem with it, with the big car crashes, is that the bigger the crash, and they got some big ones, the more unbelievable it is that these people get up and walk away. Our hero, Young Beast, I mean, he's in like this awful, awful car crash, gets out of it, walks away from it, not a scratch. I mean, he had scratches on him from previous scenes. No new scratches. No internal injuries. Nothing broken. No, he gets up, he has a few minutes of, you know, this bit, and then he's fine. He's running, he's jumping, he's climbing trees. It's like, no. See, this is the problem you get into. This is the catch-22. The more insane you make these car crashes, the less likely it is that these people are going to be able to survive. I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, he came out and I'm like, really? And all I could hear is that voice from Cinema Sins going, he survives this. And you're like, yeah, that's some bullshit right there, you know? And that wouldn't be so bad in certain films. You know, for instance, you go and see a James Bond film, you expect that he's got kind of a superhuman thing going on, and he's going to get out of all these horrific things. That's part of the fun of a Bond movie. You know, as a Bond is just slightly above, you know, just slightly below superhuman. And the weird thing with this film is that everything that is an asset to it is also a hindrance, with the exception of Anthony Hopkins. You know, like I said, it had great car crashes, but, you know, they undercut the believability of the film. And one of the other good things I liked about the movie is that I liked that Young Beast's character was not some superhuman, jacked up, you know, like I say, one of these guys from the Fast and the Furious, you know, he's the best fighter, he's the best this, that, and the other thing, he can get out of it. No, he gets out of everything by sheer dumb luck. And I kind of liked that. I kind of liked that we haven't really had an everyman hero in one of these things in a pretty long time. You know, I can't think of the last one. They've always, you know, with the Jason Bourne films, they've fallen into that category that, you know, our hero is always the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be at everything. And And I like that this guy was just a dude. His superpower was that he could drive fast. And they didn't, and obviously he drives like a stunt driver because, it's a driving movie. So obviously he's going to be the best at driving. But in those early goings, those early scenes, they do kind of sell you on that is really his only skill, is that, he can drive fast. And like, he really is just making all this up as he goes, and he gets out of it by sheer dumb luck. Now, again, here's the hindrance with that, is that you set up that your hero is mortal and that he's not, perfect. Then how the hell is he surviving these goddamn horrific crashes? Again, it doesn't make sense. That brings us, kind of to Young Beast and Rogue One in general. Boy, these two have no chemistry. Oh my God, they have no chemistry. None at all. Not a lick. Not a lick. I mean, when they kiss, it's a weird thing to pick up on. But especially in this movie where they're trying to sell you on, it's all love. Love is what is driving them. Love will make you do this, that, and the other thing. And when they kiss, their mouths barely open. And this is supposed to be like passionate, deep love that these two are in. And all I can hear is this Mystery Science Theater quote, flat, drab passion meanders across the screen. And that's pretty much what it did. I mean, they had no freaking chemistry. And, we're supposed to believe that he's going to risk his life and all this for the... Like, no, I don't see it. I believe that he'd risk it for the sex. For love, no, I don't believe that. And that brings us to Ben Kingsley. Holy God. What the hell, dude? What the hell, Ben? Did they pay him in cocaine? Because I swear to God, this performance is one of the most atrocious things I've ever seen. It's one of the worst. They took the character he played in Iron Man 3, not the Mandarin, but the Trevor Slattery character, and just said, do that, but do it with a really bad, I guess it was supposed to be a Turkish accent. Oh, I look like I'm the devil right now. Anyway, just do that. Just act all weird and drugged out and shit, and we'll film everything, and really, oh my God, you can tell whoever wrote this and directed it thought that this guy was going to be, the comedy, the comic relief, and everyone was going to love him. Boy, did they misjudge it. The best parts are the scenes with him and Anthony Hopkins, because Anthony Hopkins is looking at him, and you can tell, like. You can really tell. I mean, these are two Oscar-nominated, and I know Ben Kingsley won an Oscar for Gandhi, I believe. And I think Anthony Hopkins won one for Silence of the Lambs, I believe. So here are two Academy Award-winning actors. And Anthony Hopkins, every scene he's in with Ben Kingsley, he's just looking at him with this look of utter and complete contempt. And you can tell that ain't acting. You can tell he's looking at what Ben Kingsley is doing performance-wise and just going, what? And I mean, seriously, you can see it in his eyes. That's just kind of, what in the fuck are you doing? Have some dignity, for God's sakes. Oh, man. So, yeah, I mean, I can't really say that I hate this movie. Because I knew exactly what I was getting into. I knew exactly. I mean, this has been a downer month for films. You've really had to dig to find the good ones. Like Everybody Loves Somebody. You really had to fight to find them. And I wanted to go see a movie tonight to review, and I'm just like, all right, so I've got outstanding horror movie that every critic says is awesome, but I'm not a horror movie fan. So... that doesn't sound like it's for me. You've got artistic animated film, and you got obviously crappy action movie. What do you do? And I chose really crappy acting movie, and I chose really crappy acting movie based on the trailers with Anthony Hopkins, because I just loved I loved the lines, and run little piggy, run, run, run. It's like, okay, I can go watch Anthony Hopkins be evil for a little while. That sounds like a good time. But yeah, like I said, I can't really say I hate this movie, because there's nothing there to hate. This movie, you can tell that the 47 different goddamn movie studios that produced this thing. That's the other thing that I'm getting, that every time I go to a movie now, I just hear that voice from CinemaSins going, 40 seconds of goddamn logos, and it's true. Anyway, so the 47 different studios that produced this thing obviously did so with this delusion that this was going to be the start of their Fast and the Furious knockoff franchise. That if they could just pump out 6 or 7 or 8 of these, do them for low to no budget, make the money back, that they'd be all good. But I mean seriously, who greenlit this and thought it was going to be good? Really, this is such weak sauce. Seriously. And again, what makes you mad about it? The only thing that really makes me mad about it, outside of Ben Kingsley's performance, that did piss me off. Just because it's like, dude, come on. When you did it in Iron Man 3, it worked. Here, you're just being a jackass. But what makes me mad about it is that, again, with things like some of the decent action scenes, the hero being kind of a regular Joe, there is good stuff in here. There are some minuscule seeds that I looked at for a couple minutes. I was like, okay, I can see where this could have been good. And for one reason or another, they didn't follow through with it. So I can't be mad at this movie, because I didn't expect that it was going to blow me away. I kind of knew what I was getting into the whole time. So, but I can't sit here and tell you to go see it. And I don't believe any of you out there were kind of going, this is a picture I need to see. I'd best go with a discussion group, because I'm going to want to break through some of the subtext of this film afterwards. And judging by the amount of people in the audience, I seriously doubt anyone needs my brilliant insight to know, hey, this movie kind of sucks. And again, I don't even like using the term "it kind of sucks," because it doesn't try hard enough to suck. It's there. It's one of these movies that is literally just there, and that's why they release it at the tail end of February. For God's sakes, this film is going to get buried by Get Out. It already has. There was a line to see Get Out, and there was me and like 10 other people in the theater for this, and this is its opening weekend. So it's going to get buried by Get Out. You'll most likely never hear of it again until it winds up on being a rerun staple on FX or something like that. There's no reason to get upset or get bothered about this film, because it's not worth your time or effort. Just not even. And again, I knew that going in. I am now officially ready for March. March is going to be the good one for movies. Even if they all come out terrible, there's at least stuff I want to see. And kind of, I hate to be this guy and kind of sound like this, but honestly, that's kind of the movie I expected for this week. Just to kind of put the topper on this less than stellar birthday week. But whatever. I'm ready for the fun. But it wasn't all bad, and not all bad things happened at this movie. I won a claw game. I won movie football. So yeah. So I sat there the entire movie with this thing next to me. This is my new movie-going friend. I think I'll put some glasses on him or something. So anyway, yeah. So yeah. So we'll see how this review came out on my phone. You know, I hope I don't have to re-record it. Mainly because I'm probably going to forget everything about this movie as soon as I go inside. So that wraps up February, kind of a lackluster month, but some good stuff. The Great Wall and Everybody Loves Somebody were pretty good, but on the whole, it's a pretty lackluster month. March coming up, movies I'm excited to see. So hopefully I'll have some more upbeat reviews for you coming soon. So until then, let me know if you like this new format or not, if you prefer kind of the camera next to me. And we'll see what happens. So until next time, drive safe, and I'll see you at the movies.